Yo, recap Rangers, let's begin the story. This story begins on a rainy day, as two clans are confronting each other in a battle to the death. The man with a huge blade, who is the head of the men behind him, is exhausted as they are outnumbered by the opponents. There are only 6 to 8 warriors on his side, but the opponents have more than 15 warriors.
Opponents are charging towards him. They are engaging in the battle fiercely. An opponent is rushing at the head by stating that the head will be slaughtered by them. The opponent swung his sword at the head. The head evaded it and tore through the opponent's flesh in one blow. But the head knew that this alone won't be enough to fend off the opponents. He is rebuking the people that sent these opponents at them, in which they made an agreement with the other party. Yet those people have stabbed them in the back like this. Furthermore, he has a duty to protect the one who is inside this carriage. The head is shouting at his teammates by raising his hand that reinforcements will arrive soon, so they need to hold on for a little longer. At that moment, someone with his eyes fueling with rage responded to the head's words.
By reinforcements, do you mean these worthless people?
This huge man then tossed the heads of the reinforcements that the head is waiting for. As the head is confounded about the person behind this outcome, he saw a mark on the huge man's shoulder, which made the head to recognize the huge man instantly. This huge man is the Murim Alliance leader, First Heaven-Piercing Sword, Dam Chunhak. As the head warrior and the Murim leader are standing face to face, the head warrior belongs to a sect called Northern Sea Ice Palace. Then the Murim leader, by grabbing his chin, is pretty impressed about the Ice Palace's reinforcements, because he never thought that the Ice Palace has formidable warriors within them. The head warrior is now sneering at the Murim leader by mentioning, if the Murim leader had fought against the Ice Palace's patriarch, who is this head warrior's master, the Murim Alliance would know the definition of absolute power. Those words from the head warrior made the opponents, who are the Murim leader's subordinates, get frustrated. They said that they will cut off the head warrior's tongue. As the situation is getting heated, someone stepped into the field, where it's a woman with worried expression. The head warrior is recommending the woman to stay inside, yet the woman told him to let his guard down. The Murim leader then ordered his subordinates to back off. As everyone had halted their actions for a brief moment, the woman is facing the Murim leader face to face as she wanted something to express. Yet the Murim leader cut off her words and replied that this woman is deceived by those Ice Palace monkeys, on which the Murim leader never felt so shameful before. Then, by extending his hand, he offered the woman that everyone makes mistakes, so the Murim leader will forgive the woman. Surprisingly, this Murim leader is the father of this woman, so he had presented an opportunity where she can return back to her normal life she used to live. The woman then swiped her eyes back at the Ice Palace warriors and asked her father if the Murim leader is going to leave the Ice Palace warriors alone, if she is going to do as he said. The Murim leader hadn't said a single word and looked at his daughter by fury filled in his eyes. So the daughter comprehended from her father's look that he will obliterate the warriors even if she returns back to the Murim Alliance. So by keeping her head down, she apologized to her father that she has no reason to return back then. The Murim leader stood silent as he never expected such a statement from her daughter. Subsequently, he raised his sword and pointed it at the daughter. The head warrior caught on the intentions of the Murim leader and is doing his best to block the leader. Nonetheless, the Murim leader had already heaved the sword, and within a split second, he slashed off his own daughter without any hesitation, and the head warrior was unable to prevent this consequence from happening. The Murim leader just mumbled that he no longer has a daughter anymore. The Murim leader is frustrated that such a thing has happened because of the Ice Palace, so he commanded his subordinated to wipe out everyone from the Ice Palace who are here. As soon as the Murim leader commanded, his warriors right away heed that command and dashed at the Ice Palace warriors. The head warrior is giving his best shot without a moment of rest. He raised the morale of his men by yelling that they need to fight to the last man, and the men are fighting at their best level to hold their ground against Murim Alliance's warriors. The woman who got slashed is feeling sad for this result. Her tears trembled at the edge of her lashes, where she is regretting that she was incompetent of keeping up her promise to the patriarch of the Ice Palace.
At the Ice Palace main building, thunderstorms are screaming with rage. A man is just bowing down his head and reported to the Ice Master about the aftermath, to which this white-haired guy who is sitting on a throne has bewildered. This person is the Northern Sea Palace Master, Seal Mudok, and he is the protagonist of this story. The subordinate informed to the MC that the members of the sect and the woman had went to the Murim Alliance to conclude their disputes and some negotiations. Yet the Murim Alliance betrayed them and annihilated all their members, including the woman as well. And the moment the subordinate informed the master that the Murim leader is the one who killed the lady, blizzard-like force exploded into the room, freezing the air in an instant. Every member stood paralyzed, locked in that one chilling moment under the crushing wrath of the Ice Master. Then, rising from his seat, his body erupted in an azure aura that howled with ancient fury. He directed his sect members.
Unforgivable. I can never forgive them! Every last one of them! I will wipe them off the map!
With his eyes radiating the wrath of a dragon.
Get ready! We are going to the Central Plains!
The Ice Master is now heading to show the Murim Alliance the power of Ice Palace with an intimidating squad.
After some time, in the snowy mountains, the Murim leader is gravely injured where he is balancing himself with the help of a sword. He just couldn't believe that his entire troop made of elite warriors are butchered like this. And he can see one thing for certain, that his death is right in front of him in form of the protagonist. Now the Murim leader is telling the MC to just kill him, but the Ice Master has something to ask him, where he questioned the Murim leader with his eyes wide opened, as to why did he kill his own daughter. The Murim leader by chuckling answered, that he hates a daughter who plays a love game with a barbarian like the Ice Master, so that is why he made the right thing by killing her with his own hands. The Ice Master is stunned to hear those cursed words. Then by elevating his arm where a magic energy is being formed, the Murim leader is mocking the Ice Master, that even if the Ice Master is powerful enough to combine the entire Central Plains and gained immense reputation, he was failed in obtaining what he most desired for. And before those words could come out of his mouth, the magic force unleashed by the protagonist blasted through the center of the Murim leader's body. The Murim leader never thought that his death would be because of his daughter's mistake. Now slowly his life with his daughter is being flashed into his brain. And there is one thing he couldn't grasp, as to why his daughter had betrayed his father and associated with the Ice Master. On that day, the death of the Murim leader and who caused it has known throughout the world, and the Ice Master's name and status have rose to the top, where everyone began considering him as the ultimate ruler of the Central Plains because he ended the war which lasted for 6 years. Nevertheless, all these statuses and fame didn't make him happy, and he started gazing at the moon from then onwards. One day, the Ice Master is looking at a flower, because this flower is personally given to him by the woman he loved. In the flashback, someone is calling as the Ice Master. It is the lady with a flower pot in her hands. She mentioned that this flower, which is known as Lotus of Love, has bloomed. The Ice Master flinched for a moment there, but he knows what the lady meant by, due to the fact that this particular flower only blooms when two people are truly loving each other. The lady is now starting to get emotional, because even though she never doubted the feelings of the MC, she thought that the Lotus of Love wouldn't bloom. By wiping her tears, she expressed that she considered this as a one-sided love from her side only, but now it is confirmed even the MC is loving her. The MC, by embracing her, answered to her that he only has storage for one woman in his heart. Now coming back to present, he is planning to fill the entire garden with the Lotus of Love, because when the Lotus of Love bloomed, he saw the happiness in the lady that he had never seen before. By touching the flower's stem, he is whispering to himself that he cannot forget her no matter how hard he tried. This is when something strange had occurred, because the flower had all of a sudden bloomed again. Then as soon as he called for a warrior, one instantly landed to the ground. Then by lifting his hand at the warrior, he commanded the warrior to look for a person who can explain just why the flower bloomed again when his lover is not here anymore. The warrior accepted the order and took charge without any delay. A few days later, a lot of people have gathered in one room. These people are called Manbakja, and their speciality is they almost know everything about this world. And as these people are murmuring to each other, then they heard a voice from above as they need to come out of the room right now. In that manner, They're going outside to find out the reason behind summoning these mini manbakjas at once without providing any details for their summon. As soon as they saw what is in front of them, all of them have wide opened their mouths in shock, on which the garden ahead of them is completely filled with the flowers of lotus of love. They are astonished to see these many flowers at once, because even seeing one of them in a complete lifetime is a great feat, yet they are witnessing an entire garden filled with flowers. They can prove that these are original, given that the flowers have the character love is inscribed on the stems. On that occasion, the protagonist asked if they have liked the flower garden, and they quickly rotated their heads to the back and informed that this is a great spectacle for them. Then the other person inquired as who the MC is, and the Ice Master replied,
I am the owner of this garden, the Northern Sea Palace Master, Seol Mudok.
All of them have rapidly risen up from their positions as soon as they heard that he is the protagonist of this story, because side characters like them cannot compare themselves to the MC. Then the Ice Master initiated explaining the reason behind their summon, that he and his lover had bloomed the lotus of love. Unfortunately, when his lover died, the flower also met its end on that day. Somehow, that same flower had revived on its own after a days of her death, to which the manbakjas are stunned to hear the lotus of love to bloom again after the Ice Master's lover death. As everyone had begun racking their minds to find out the answer for the Ice Master's question, this old man with long eyebrows is mumbling to himself that there is only one possibility for something like this to happen. Within an instant, the Ice Master leaped towards the old man as he wanted to know what the old man meant by those words. The old man then described, if the lotus of love had bloomed once again, it means the lover of the Ice Master has once again reborn in a new place somewhere in this world. The Ice Master, by enlarging his eyes, forewarned the old man not to speak some nonsense, and the old man, by getting frightened, answered honestly that this can be the only explanation to the Ice Master's query, or else the lotus of love had no reason to bloom again. By seeing the confirmation in the old man's eyes, the Ice Master is happy to know that his lover had once again reborn or reincarnated in this world, and he had a chance to find her. Although he succeeded in unifying the entire Central Plains, which is the long-cherished wish of the Northern Sea, all that left for him at the end is emptiness, because he was hoping to live a peaceful life with his lover once he unified the Central Plains. But the sad truth is, he was unable to find a purpose to live like that after his lover had perished from this world. So the Ice Master is seeking to know of the process to find her. The old man then highlighted an indication that when the Ice Master and her lover are near to each other, the lotus of love will glow. Now that the Ice Master gave a thought about it, even in the past, when his lover brought the flower, he saw the flower glowing when they are near to each other. So the Ice Master is preparing to meet each woman present in this world so that he can figure her out easily when the flower glows between them. Nevertheless, the old man recommended the MC that it is not the right way to find her because the flower is a delicate one, and if something happens on his journey, no one can do anything about it, as there is only one flower the Ice Master and his lover had bloomed. So he suggested a way, which is, the Ice Master needs to craft the lotus of love into a jewel and to carry with him. The Ice Master, by turning around, granted to them that they need to make the preparations for crafting the jewel, as they are going to depart in 10 days, and once he manages to find his lover, he is going to reward each one of them 100 gold niang. The manbakjas were all bewildered to know that, because that much money could make them live without any work. In that way, the Ice Master took his leave. Then, by looking at the sun, he made a promise to himself.
No matter where you are, even if it is hell, I will follow you. So wait for me, Huiyan.
As a ship is sailing in the sea, the Ice Master inside the cabin is looking at the map, where he had almost searched for his lover all over the place, and there is only one last place remained, which is a place called Hainan. It has been 3 years and 5 months since he began looking for his lover, yet he didn't found out a single clue about his lover. His only option left right now is this place called Hainan. During these 3 years, he advanced from the transformation realm to the profound realm, and experienced a state called metamorphosis 2 times, on which, having metamorphosis 1 time, makes the body muscles and other parts to completely grow into an advanced level. A few days before his lover got murdered, The Ice Master is raising his voice at his lover not to go to the Central Plains, but the lover outlined that her father is going to appear in this meeting. So as his daughter, she is confident that she could settle the hatred of her father. But the Ice Master is guessing that it may be traps set for the lover, but the lover by clenching her fists expressed to the Ice Master that she is guaranteed in this because she trusts her father. The Ice Master couldn't let her down when she is requesting him so much. Then by sighing down, he told her to leave that place immediately if she finds out anything as suspicious, and the lover agreed to that. Now the lover, by keeping her hand inside the kimono, is giving the Ice Master a ring, which is a keepsake of her late mother. And this ring has a special ability, where it returns to the person who gives it. And now that the lover is giving her ring to the Ice Master, she guarantees him that if something goes wrong, he can find her using this ring. But now the Ice Master regretting so much that he should have stopped her from going to the Central Plains. Then someone is shouting as a huge storm is coming in the direction of ship. As the Ice Master is taking a look on the outside, he is surprised to glimpse such a massive storm. Then he is protecting his body by using his internal energy. But the rest of the people aren't as compatible as the Ice Master, so they are submerging in the water. Almost half of the members on the ship are getting sunk in the water. And when a kid and father were shouting for a mother, the protagonist, seeing this, instantly used his martial prowess to lift the planks with a telekinesis technique. Then he tossed those planks at the people who are sinking in the water. As the Ice Master is helping all those people, one old man who is beside the Ice Master is shaken to see something horrible, on which another huge wave is coming at them.
As all the people lost have their hope to live, it was at this moment the protagonist knew that, to counter the incoming storm, he needs to use an arcane-level move. Then he took a stance firmly by grabbing his blade, where even the blizzard power is pouring out from his blade. Then he locked his eyes, which resembled a phantom manifestation. The people who on board can feel the snowstorm, which wrapped the whole ship in a single moment. Just when the protagonist is about to use his winter-born power to overwhelm the wave of destruction, the necklace made up of the Manbakcha is radiating, which distracted the protagonist from the tsunami ahead of him. This is when the giant wave had convulsed on its own, and then a pillar of light has descended upon the MC, and as his vision got blinded by the light had went back to the ocean, and all the people were baffled about this light and all, on which even the Ice Master had went missing when the light had disappeared.
Now the Ice Master is slowly opening his eyes, and he is a bit dizzy as he woke up. He figured out that he is in a carriage, as this place is cramped with wooden boxes. And when he was about to recollect the memories of the ship incident, he heard someone scream. On the outside, there are a lot of flies which are on the size of a human, as a lady and a kid cornered to a side. Two people are raising their voice at them, that they will save the both of them. Then a carriage behind them got sliced in half, where even two flies got mixed in it. An old man is flabbergasted to see that the carriage which got sliced is a first-class carriage. What's more surprising them is, the MC did that with a single finger, and as he came out of the smoke by excluding his aura, he is concluding that this place might be a forest in the Central Plains. And he looked to his right side, where the old man and other people are having different attire compared to what the Central Plains people have. So he believes these people are foreigners. But there is something which stole his sight from the people. They are the flies which are of abnormal size. This made even a martial master like him to stupefy, because what can the protagonist do when the flies are as huge as hippopotamus? As the flies are now charging at the protagonist, because he killed two of them, the Ice Master couldn't get a clarity about why there are foreigners and flies of this size in the Central Plains. Then he simply dodged a fly which targeted him. But the Ice Master wouldn't leave it like that, so he used his ice technique to freeze the fly in the midair. Then he crushed that fly into small pieces by just moving his fingers a little. He is furious at those flies, that just because they become larger in size, they are attempting to attack humans. By elevating his hand and widening his gaze, he uttered that he wouldn't forgive these damn creatures. After the completion of those words, he sprang into the sky, and while he is bursting forth into them, the Ice Master with his blazing speed turned the flies into ice crystals, where there are about 20 of them, and he crystallized them in a single moment and landed on the ground again. Then by flickering his fingers, he squashed them like bugs and muttered, "This should be more than enough for some pathetic bugs." The old man and the teenager got dumbfounded by that sight. Even the girls who got cornered earlier were awestruck by that breathtaking scene. Then the old man is calling the Ice Master, And when the Ice Master looked at them, the old man is introducing himself as the head of a merchant group called Roll Merchant Group, and his name is Edmund Roll. But the Ice Master had wide opened his eyes at them, because he couldn't grasp the language they are speaking, and he is unable to figure out what the old man is trying to say. Then the old man with his unknown language expressed his gratitude by bowing down his head. By that gesture of bowing, the Ice Master understood that the old man is appreciating him, but the language still didn't make any sense to him. The Ice Master conveyed to the old man that he is not in a position to understand what they are speaking as he never met any foreigners before. So the MC articulated if any of them are competent of speaking the Central Plains language, yet all of them have shook their hands in perplexement. The foreigners are communicating to each other, as if any of them have ever heard that language or not. When the Ice Master asked them again if none of them are able to speak the Central Plains language, a man behind the old man is rushing at them, and this man interrupted the communication and said something to the old man, which made the old man to realize something. Then by extending his hand where there is a ring in his palm, the old man's eyes gleamed with some sparkles, and by keeping the ring in between two fingers and crossing his arms by closing his eyes, the old man made a cute anime girl's pose and shouted, "Interpret language." The Ice Master was bewildered to see this, because he never saw anime, so the Ice Master doesn't know of these anime girls' pose. Now the old man, by adorning the ring, asked the Ice Master if he can understand their language right now, to which the Ice Master stood agape, unable to believe what he was hearing. So he wanted to know from the old man as to how the old man has suddenly been able to speak the language of the Central Plains. He guesses this might be the power of the ring. The old man, by raising his hand, filled the Ice Master that this is the power of the ring, and now the old man realizes that the Ice Master was speaking the language of the Central Plains which he never heard of. Now the old man is once more introducing himself because the Ice Master couldn't hear them properly the last time, in which the old man is appreciating the Ice Master's help so much. So the old man is looking to know the name of the Ice Master by calling the Ice Master as Sir Magic Swordsman. The Ice Master, by catching his chin, expressed that he didn't know what this magic swordsman the old man meant by, but he revealed his name as Seol Mudak. The old man clicked his tongue for a moment, as he was surprised that the Ice Master is questioning him about the magic swordsman. Then he let the Ice Master know that a magic swordsman is someone who uses both sword and magic. The Ice Master understood what swordsman is, but he was curious about the term magic. This made the old man startled. Earlier, the old man himself witnessed the Ice Master using ice magic, so he is deeply pondering the whereabouts of the Ice Master. The Ice Master is getting irritated as the old man had not answered to his question and is just looking at somewhere by thinking something. Then the Ice Master, by stretch opening his eyes and transferring mana to his palm, threatened the old man to first answer his question. The old man got scared of the Ice Master to the point of crying, where he is preparing to leak everything he knows, or else he imagines that the Ice Master might be a lunatic who would even try to bury the old man for not responding. In that manner, the old man explained all about magic, that it took an entire afternoon to fill the Ice Master about the details. As they fired a campfire and are discussing about the magic, the Ice Master now is trying to find out why had he never knew about magic, which existed in the Central Plains this whole time. The old man questioned back to the MC as to what is this Central Plains the Ice Master is referring to. This made the Ice Master to once again get to the starting point, where he probed the old man as to why he is speaking so rudely about the place he is living in. The old man was caught off guard by that question from the Ice Master. The Ice Master made things clear that the old man is living in the Central Plains right now, so could he not know the name of the place he is living in? The old man replied to the Ice Master that they are not in the Central Plains, they are in a forest, which will lead them to a state called Barhan, which is in the Drake Kingdom. The Ice Master, by sighing down in anger, interrogated the old man, that the old man doesn't look like a 100-year-old man, but if he had already gone screw loose in that age, as this is not some Drake Kingdom, but the Central Plains. The old man couldn't bear this kind of misjudgment, so the old man took this as his pride and told the Ice Master that he is only 50 years old, so he wouldn't go screw loose. And the old man is worried about the Ice Master's mental state, because the Ice Master is keep on insisting the Drake Kingdom as Central Plains. The Ice Master by pointing his finger at the teenager behind the tree and spoke to the old man, that they can find out who is right or wrong if they ask the teenager, whereupon the teenager is startled that the Ice Master is able to sense his energy. The teenager by keeping his head down is approaching the Ice Master calmly. The old man didn't know that the teenager is eavesdropping on them. The Ice Master had put into question if this is the Central Plains or the Drake Kingdom. For some reason the teenager didn't give an answer to the Ice Master. The Ice Master by looking seriously at the teenager is asking him again about the issue, and as to why he is remaining silent to his question. The old man then spelled it out by handing over the ring, that no matter how many times the Ice Master questions the teenager, he wouldn't answer that, because the kid couldn't comprehend the language that the Ice Master is speaking, so he tells him to adorn this ring by shouting, "Interpret language," then the teenager will be able to answer his question. As the Ice Master is taking over the ring, the old man is thinking that even if it is a waste to hand over such a precious artifact to the Ice Master, he can't accept some crazy person like the Ice Master calling him senile. The Ice Master by putting on the ring voiced in a normal tone, "Interpret language," then gold light started to glow from the ring. Also some unknown letters have rounded up the Ice Master. Later on, he has the means to hear and understood the language clearly. He had no words to express what he is seeing right now, because in his previous world, he neither used nor knew about such sorcery. Now the Ice Master inquired about the teenager's identify. In response to that, the teenager stated that his name is Leo. As the Ice Master then one more time posed about this place, the teenager with a doubtful expression questioned back as to what is this Central Plains which he never heard before. The teenager continued that they are in a forest which leads them to Barhan, which is the capital of the Drake Kingdom. To that statement from the teenager, the Ice Master had no choice but to jolt, so he is considering that the teenager might have had a screw loose too. By extending his left hand at the old man, the Ice Master is seeking to know if the old man played some cheap tricks, like informing the kid beforehand in his own language, when the old man was handing the ring over to the Ice Master. To that false accusation, the old man raised from his seat and elaborated as to why would he go that far, and to trick a person who saved his members from the danger, and to prove his sincerity, the old man will remain here, and the Ice Master could go to anyone present in here and ask them about this place. By looking at the confidence in the old man's eyes and his voice without any shudder, the Ice Master could discern that the old man is speaking the truth here. And now that the Ice Master evoked some of his memories back when he was on the deck, the necklace started to glow, and some light was shed on him from the torrent which made him unconscious. But when he opened his eyes, he is neither on the ship nor had he seen anyone who is from the Central Plains, so he concludes that he must have been teleported to some random place he never visited. He got up from his position as he had a suspicion of moving through space. He doesn't have any idea of how to make sure if this is the Central Plains or not. At that moment, he felt a strange sense of energy from his chest. As the Ice Master sat back, the old man is desperate to know if the Ice Master had believed his words, but the Ice Master's focus is on the energy that he felt from his chest, where he never felt this kind of energy ever before. Within that moment, he hurled from his position to find out something. As he is roaming around the forest, he is aware of this energy, in which this is pure energy that is very hard to come by in the Central Plains. Then he soared into the sky to see through where this energy is leaking from. But to his surprise, this energy is not leaking from anywhere, but it is nature energy itself. In other words, this place is completely filled with pure energy. The Ice Master is now trying to condense some of this energy to check if it really true. As the pure energy is being absorbed by his body, he can feel that his whole body had become so much stronger in a matter of point. The internal energy in his body has been doubled by that, but there is still one thing that is haunting him, as to how did he got transported to this place. Then his necklace which has been inside his garments has come out, and according to his faint memories from the ship, he could grasp that his transportation might have happened because of the ring which is embedded in the necklace along with the lotus of love. His lover mentioned to him that this necklace will lead back to the one who gave it, so by landing on the ground, he can be sure of one thing, that his lover is definitely in this place somewhere. All the foreigners are wondering where the Ice Master had rushed all of a sudden. Then the Ice Master, by listening to that, replied that he had to find some answers, and luckily his research had been completed. By smiling at the old man, he said, he had one more question about this place. The old man is suddenly imagining why the Ice Master is smiling eerily. Then the Ice Master listed his question, that if this place is really called the Drake Kingdom. The old man said that this place is really the Drake Kingdom. Then a boy from the old man's backside stated that if the Ice Master is asking them all these questions which are even known by kids, he can apprehend that the Ice Master must have trained his whole life in the mountains. The boy carried on that he heard about people like the Ice Master, who are called as eccentric people, and this is his first time seeing one of those people in life. The Ice Master agreed to the boy's statement that he had trained in the mountains till this date, and now he wants to experience more of this world. The boy, by clenching his fists in excitement, is showing interest to teach the Ice Master more about this world. This made the Ice Master happy that he can find more about this unknown place, which is completely new to him. The Ice Master then inquired the boy about his name, and the boy introduced himself, that his name is Luffy. If that boy is Luffy, I guess this old man must be Monkey D. Garp, and I think Zoro must have sailed the ship for Luffy to transport into this Manhwa. That following night, the Ice Master had learned a lot of information about this place from our Luffy. And this information made him realize one more thing, that he just didn't teleported into some new place or area, he just got ice skate into a new world. This world has creatures other than humans, where they are races like elves and dwarves, and even beastmen too. And off the creatures that are in this world, there is one type that rules over everything. Those are dragons. The dragons are ancient creatures which have longer lifespans than humans. And humans in this world can use something like magic. And this is when the Ice Master comprehended about the pure energy, that the pure energy is called mana in this world. He is really intrigued to know more about this world, and as his mind is processing the information, his eyes enlarged at that point as if he had seen something unique, where there are 3 moons in this world. The protagonist is really excited to see what's more in this world. It was at this point, someone is shouting at a woman that she needs to halt her actions. The Ice Master, by hearing someone yelling quickly, turned his gaze at that location. The woman is raising her voice back, that she had no choice but death itself. By grabbing a kid in her hand and a knife on the other, she is warning them not to come close, or else she will have to kill them all. The people are dumbfounded about this situation, in which the spectacles guy is trying to calm her down, that as soon as they reach the capital of Drake Kingdom, he will find the best doctor in that area, and he will take responsibility in curing the woman and the kid. But the woman declared she had confidence in the spectacles guy finding the best doctor in the city, but how can they pay the doctor when they have no money with them? The problem is, there are bugs' eggs lodged in their hearts, and when the egg hatches, it will form into a larva, and sometimes it has the power to burn the people who are near to the victims. So the woman knows there is no one in the capital who can heal this. The spectacles guy has no answer to give to what the woman had said, and the woman kept going. As soon as the egg hatches, the both of them will die. So she doesn't want to involve others into this. That is why is going to kill herself when she is still in one piece. In that fleeting moment, someone told them to wait. The protagonist finally entered into the scenario by using a telekinesis skill, and the dagger the woman was holding is pulled by the Ice Master, where he spoke to them, that he got a vague idea about the problem, and to their happiness, the Ice Master had a solution to this problem, and he has to treat them right this instant. The old man never knew that the Ice Master is even specialized in healing magic, and the Ice Master replied that he doesn't know much about this healing magic, but he once learned a way that is similar to this world's healing magic. Everyone is happy to hear that, and the old man even grabbed the hand of the Ice Master, and he has no means expressing his gratitude, and the Ice Master said that the old man needs to ensure no one to approach him when he is healing them. Then the old man cautioned all the members not to disturb the Ice Master, and to keep their mouths tight shut, and to just watch the action. The Ice Master advised the 2 people not to get tensed about it, as it won't take that long. And now that the 2 people have closed their eyes and relaxed their bodies, the Ice Master placed the both of his hands one on each person, now that he is transferring the internal energy in his body to the 2 people with his palms. As he was slowly searching the eggs inside their bodies, he spotted the eggs near to their hearts. To their fortune, the egg hadn't hatched yet, so he is controlling the flow of energy in his hand, and not to make sure sending more than required amount which could damage the heart. Sometime later, He took his hands off from the two people, and they are aware of the lightness in their hearts and have relived from the trauma. As they looked at the Ice Master, he said a good news to them, that the operation is successful, where he destroyed all the eggs that have lodged in their hearts. The old man is in full joy, and all the members are speechless that the Ice Master did something that even the renowned healers in the kingdom aren't capable of. Furthermore, the Ice Master made sure that there won't be any side effects from this. Both the people are thanking the Ice Master, to which he just waved his hand at them. As he is leaving the place with a heroic demeanor, everyone bowed down their heads in gratitude except for Luffy. As the Ice Master sat near a tree, he was exhausted, that from the morning onwards, he was dealing with continued surprises and problems without a gap, and there is still a lot for him to know of this world. By taking a hold of the necklace, he is missing his lover, and upon gazing at the 3 moons, he is set to find his lover as soon as possible. All the members of the merchant group are now heading towards the capital of the Drake Kingdom, Barhan. The old man is getting burned under the hot sun. The Ice Master expressed that it is too hot in here. Then our Luffy handed over a bottle of water to the Ice Master, and the Ice Master grabbed the bottle. He found out that the water is lukewarm. He couldn't drink the water like this when the sun is blazing with the high temperature. By using the ice magic, he changed the temperature of the water bottle, and now that he is drinking this, his thirst had satisfied by that. And Luffy is asking the Ice Master as to why the bottle is making weird sounds when the Ice Master is drinking it. The Ice Master then pounced the water bottle at the boy's cheek, and the boy could sense the cold energy inside the bottle. He is taken aback that the water bottle is this cool when the weather is scorching. The Ice Master told the boy to have some water from that, and as the boy took a sip of the water, he couldn't stop having more and more. His face is extremely satisfied of drinking this water in this heat. The boy's face made the Ice Master happy to see it. Then the boy said he had a small request, on which he needs his water bottle to be cool like that. The Ice Master, by recollecting all the help the boy made when the Ice Master didn't know anything about this area, so he just accepted the boy's request and chilled the bottle by using his ice magic through extending his hand. Seeing the boy making such a cheerful expression, the Ice Master is also delighted. However, his delightful face suddenly became tireless face, because all the members have surrounded the Ice Master, and when he questioned for their purpose of surrounding him like this, they just displayed their water bottles at the Ice Master and appealed him to freeze their water bottles too. All of their eyes are sparkling at the Ice Master. He is actually annoyed that they are squeezing him dry like this. Then the old man placed his hand on a member to know what's happening. The boy then briefed the old man. The Ice Master is making everyone's water bottles colder, so that it is refreshing to drink. When the old man heard the Ice Master is making ice water for everyone, he is happy that he can beat the heat with this move. The Ice Master, by furrowing his eyebrows, didn't catch on the intentions of the old man behind that expression. The old man, by sitting on one knee, begged the Ice Master to make him ice water too. The Ice Master is baffled that even this old man who needs to stop the other people from disturbing the Ice Master is acting like this. The Ice Master had no choice but to help the old man with his request. The old man is overjoyed by that, and as the Ice Master is using his magic, he couldn't refute the old man's request so easily, since the old man is the one who solved the language barrier problem. The old man is joyfully drinking the ice water as if he had never seen or drank water ever before. But after taking a sip of the water, his face expression changed as he found something strange within this water. So the old man, to satisfy his curiosity, asked the Ice Master that how did he made the ice. The Ice Master questioned back if there is a problem with the ice water. Then the old man sharpened his eyes for a moment. Then the old man's eyes shot open in exhilaration, expressed that this ice water is beyond perfection. But there is something that he couldn't comprehend, because the Ice Master had made is truly unique and extremely tasty. In the Ice Master's point of view, he just froze the water, so he can't decipher why the old man is saying that the ice is tasty. The old man relayed to the Ice Master, when a person or a magic user creates ice, they add cold attribute into the mana, and this makes the mana to form or turn the air into ice. And during this process, even if the mana is pure, the air itself has a lot of impurities, so this often makes the ice taste bad to eat or drink, which is created by humans. However, Some top-tier magic users are able to remove the impurities from the air and turns the ice perfectly. But even then, there will be tiny amount of impurities still present in the air and makes the ice taste bad. But the ice created by the Ice Master is on a whole other level. That this ice is better than the original one, which is made by the nature itself. Now the Ice Master got grip on the old man's attitude and his words, and as to why all the people have made such reactions. Since the Ice Master is in a good mood, by releasing the ice energy from his hands, he is planning to making some more ice. Nonetheless, this is when the old man ceased the Ice Master from doing that, and by raising his index finger to the top like an anime girl, he said that he has a proposal for the Ice Master which could benefit the both of them. A few days later after the old man's proposal, the spectacles guy is shouting at the workers to hold the items tightly and to bring them back to the store safely. And inside the supply room, the Ice Master had raised his arm by excluding ice energy, where there are a lot of buckets filled with water in front of him. Then he swung his hand over the buckets. The ice energy from his hands made the water present in the buckets to change into ice cubes. The members of the merchant group are applauding the Ice Master for doing such a great work, but the Ice Master feels like he is being treated as a worker. A few days ago, the Ice Master was shocked to a ridiculous proposal made by the old man, in which the old man is going to revive his fallen merchant group, which is flooding in debts, by using the Ice Master's power to sell the ice made by him. The old man's face is fully drenched in sweat that the Ice Master hadn't fallen for his scheme. The Ice Master knew that the old man isn't trying to do anything wrong, as it is just the old man trying his best to revive his merchant group. But the Ice Master isn't going to do anything for free, so he is strategizing to make a deal with the old man, which is 70:30 ratio. The old man at first thought was confounded by that. Then the Ice Master told him that he will be taking 70% of the profits since he is one making the ice, and the Merchant Association will have 30%, as all they have to do is sell them. The old man thinks that this is not a bad offer, since the taste of the ice is way better than what he imagined, and the ice will sell like hotcakes. However, the old man is also a merchant who is not a simple one when it comes to deals like this. Then he activated his merchant bloodline and made a statement. All the Ice Master needs to do is make some ice with his power, but the Merchant Association needs to deliver them using carts. Moreover, they need a lot of manpower and to pay the salaries to the workers. So he told the Ice Master that 60:40 ratio will be the final. The Ice Master with a smile agreed to that, and the old man is thunderstruck by that since the Ice Master agreed to that so easily. Hence the Ice Master rocked, and the old man shocked. The old man then took out a contract paper, so that their deal will be sealed. The Ice Master agreed to that negotiation because he thought that he will have a chance to learn more about this world. Nevertheless, the business is booming contrary to what he had expected. Then the spectacles guy opened the door in a hurry to relay something serious. He just stated that the old man should come take a look at what is happening on the outside without any delay. The old man and the Ice Master are getting worried as to what might have happened. In front their shop, a lot of people are clamoring for the ice store to supply for normal people too. The old man then told everyone to first form a line so that he can supply to them. Yet no one is listening to him and are just trying to barge in and to loot everything from the store. This is when the protagonist's voice roared through everyone's ear.
All of you pipe down.
This made the people to grab their ears, where they feel like their ears are going to burst. The old man is relieved to the Ice Master to simply make the things back to normal with just a few words. The Ice Master, by raising his hand at the people, told them to keep quiet in front of the store. Then by glaring at the people with a fierce look where his eye is blitzing with lightning, he gave a heads up to them. If it gets noisy again, the entire crowd will be kicked out without exception, so be careful. All the souls present here felt like they saw the otherworldly spirit. Now the old man started to state the rules of their merchant association. Currently, their association is selling the ice in bulks only, and they have paused the low amounts for a while. So the old man blatantly said to them that anyone who came here only to purchase small amounts of ice, they have to leave. However, they will start the low amounts after a few weeks. The customers who came here to buy just one, or in low amounts, all have disheartened after hearing that, where they are expressing disapproval for this rule, because they came from a long distance to taste the ice candy. The Ice Master then just looked at the people once again with his eyes shining with menace. This look has installed terror in the people, and they have no choice but to leave the place. As all the people who are here for small amounts have backed off, the old man told the people who are going to buy in huge amounts have to line up. In such a fashion, all the butlers, other merchant associations, and people from aristocrat families have introduced themselves to have bulk amounts of ice. The old man is joyfully greeting the customers and handing over the supplies they have asked for. To his amazement, all these people are from the kingdom's greatest families and associations. Even if the old man imagined that his business will skyrocket, he never thought that it would even surpass that level. By looking at the ice master behind him who is yawning, the old man is feeling grateful for the ice master inwardly. Although his merchant association hadn't completely revived yet, if it weren't for the ice master here, they wouldn't even be at this point. The old man with a cheerful tone recommended the ice master to have some rest, and that he will take care of everything here. By seeing that all the people present here are calmly having what they need and moving off, he waved his hand at the old man by saying that he will have some rest in his room. The old man is feeling sorry for the ice master, because he is using the ice master not only in making ice, but for other matters too. However, the old man has some unspeakable reasons to do this. A few years ago, the old man was kneeled on the ground where the room is painted with blood and people have slaughtered. A person called Duke Icarus has ruined the old man's business, and this failure caused the old man's parents and his siblings to get caught in it, and all of them have died unjustly because of the Duke Icarus, and the old man blamed himself that he should have never brought his family into the business. Then he declared where his eyes burst open seething for rage.
I shall revive the Merchant Association to its former glory. Until then, I will never give up.
In the ice master's room, he is sleeping on the bed after having to work back to back. Now that the ice master knows the business is doing well, he is mapping out a way to find his lover. Then the ice master wake up from his position as someone knocked the door. Then the ice master told them to come in with a face filled with happiness. The girl brought an ice cream, and this is the ice master's latest snack. This is made by this blonde-haired girl accidentally, which is prepared from mixing fruit and ice. As the girl placed the ice cream on the table, she is leaving as it is her shift of work right now. The ice master is brimming with happiness, and took a spoon of the ice cream. He could experience the ice cream melting in his mouth and the sweetness of it. He can fully understand why the other people are so thriving for this ice cream. He is thinking as to why something like this hadn't existed in the Northern Sea Ice Palace. After having a few spoons of the ice cream, the bowl is finished, in which he is craving for more ice cream. Normally in the Northern Sea Pace, everyone would be at his command with a single snap of his fingers, but he couldn't bother the merchant people who are working so hard and busy all the time. At the store, it became noisy again, on which the girl is telling the customers to stand in a line and not to barge into people by creating nuisance. Then a fat boy yelled at the girl that she should know her place. By bending his neck to his side, he alerted the girl if she knows who they are. The ice master is pondering as to why this side character is making a ruckus in front of him, who is the main character of this story. As the three young men are trying to show off their power, the one with a long face on the back is sneering at the woman and ordered her that she might have not known who they are, but even then, she needs to obey them as a servant and to bring the ice cream without making a fuss. The long face, by aiming his finger at the girl, cautioned her. They heard some rumors of the ice cream, and that is why they visited this place. So if the ice cream doesn't meet their expectations, the girl needs to get ready for the consequences. The girl, without losing her composure, replied to them that their merchant association wouldn't sell ice creams to those who cut in line. As such, she told them to follow their basic procedures. Then the fat man slammed the table with his hand by observing the girl's rude manners, where he couldn't tolerate this inferiority anymore, and stated that they will never line up with the commoners, where it is already driving them crazy just to stay in this area, where only the people who are off poverty live. But standing in the line along with the peasants is something that won't happen even if the world turns upside down. The girl responded to the fat man's words that their merchant association wouldn't sell ice cream just because someone comes from the noble family. The ice master, who is waiting in the back for ice cream, he is struggling to grasp the boldness of the girl as to why she is acting so great when the ice master has no plans to fight the young men. The girl knows that these young men wouldn't stand down anymore if she provoked them like this, but her confidence is coming from the ice master behind her, that even if a fight breaks out, she is visualizing that the Ice Master will protect her. The long face had lost his patience, so now by gritting his teeth in frustration, he drawn out his sword from the sheath and pointed it at the girl by warning her that he longer has any tolerance to stand like a coward, so she needs to beg him for mercy and serve them the ice cream quickly. Then an innocent person from the same group who was behind the long face told him to stop his actions. Then by releasing his internal energy minimally, he instructed the long face to back down, because he is lowering the dignities of a noble. The long face realized his mistakes and apologized to the innocent one. The girl flinched by looking at the innocent person's energy. Then the innocent person, by closing the distance to the girl, gave a heads up for her.
We came to try this ice cream. So just bring it over right now and we will leave this place as if nothing happened.
The girl, by looking at the innocent person, only now comprehended that this innocent person is the leader of the group. She has begun to tremble under his pressure, and that her voice is shuddering to answer. As the leader's gaze had fell upon the girl with an intense force field, the girl accepted the leader's demand and is now going to present them the ice cream. This is when the old man jumped into the scenario by unburdening the girl that their merchant association wouldn't sell ice cream to those who cut in line, in which rules are rules, and that applies to everyone. The girl apologized to the old man that she lost her composure for a moment there. The ice master, who is having a view of this drama, put his ice cream bowl aside as he knows that this drama will take some time to finish. The old man then proclaimed,
Please leave. I cannot tolerate disregard of the merchant's rules.
The two underlings of the leader are getting furious as a small merchant association is talking back to them and are trying to disrespect them just because they cut in line for once. The old man simplified to the young men that he is not selling the ice cream not just because of them cutting in line, as there is a different reason for him to do that. The young men are looking at each other with puzzled expressions. Even the leader is baffled about the old man's response, so he had no choice but to find out the reason for the old man to do this. The old man then expressed his exclamation through anger.
You should ask that question to Duke Icarus yourself.
As the nearby people are getting shivers just because they heard the name of Duke Icarus from the old man's mouth, the leader is still unable to process the old man's words, because Duke Icarus is none other than his father. Now that the leader takes a close look over the old man, his memories are starting to get together. Then by covering his mocking smile at the old man, he finally perceived who the old man is. On that point, by smiling creepily like a fool, he revealed to everyone that this old man is the leftover that his father let to live after crumbling over the merchant association this old man belongs to. The two underlings are frozen for a second because they knew that the leader only makes such a smile when he is really angry about something. As the leader now took a hold of his sword, he unsheathed the sword by declaring,
For the crime of insulting a noble, you will pay it with your life.
Then the leader elevated his sword to the back without losing his disgusting smile. And just when the sword almost reached the old man's neck, he closed his eyes and is so frustrated, not because the ice master didn't intervene in this fight. It is just that he was unable to bring the merchant association to its former glory. However, even after 5 seconds have passed, the sword hadn't beheaded the old man's neck, and when he opened his eyes, the ice master had blocked the sword with his bare hand. All the people were stunned to see that, because a sword is such a sharp object, and when it is infused with internal energy, it can tear through the flesh so cleanly, yet it didn't even make a small scratch on him. In that moment, the ice master swiped his hand, which made the leader to hurl to the back with that mere force from his hand. The leader yelled at the ice master if he had death wish right now. The leader's mind is clouded with inferiority, that he actually forget the ice master is the protagonist of this story. The ice master, by cleaning his ear, is apprising the situation inwardly, that he is the one who is making the ice for ice cream. But even he is waiting for a few minutes. Yet some young man is trying to kill the merchants just because he couldn't wait for a few seconds. The ice master apprised the leader that he needs to teach some manners to him.
The leader was still holding back, only now beginning to unveil the depth of his power. All his internal energy surged into his sword, the air warping around it as he prepared to end the Ice Master in a single decisive strike. In a blur, he closed the distance and drove his blade forward, but the Ice Master was already gone, his figure dissolving into the wind. The leader reset his stance and attacked again and again, each strike faster, sharper, more desperate, yet none could even graze his target. The Ice Master didn't just evade, he moved as if the strikes weren't worth acknowledging. Still, the leader pressed on, mindless in his assault, refusing to believe that his blade could be rendered so useless. Then the Ice Master's afterimage mentioned to the leader that he will lecture the young ones of this world how to respect the elder people. The leader's eyes flared open in anger and rebuked the Ice Master, but the Ice Master is brave enough to speak in that manner to a noble like him. As soon as the leader finished his words, the Ice Master appeared behind the leader, and the Ice Master evoked some of his memories from the Central Plains. But the world always works on the survival of the fittest, and by rolling his middle finger to the thumb finger, he flicked his finger which delivered his internal energy, and this is known as formless chi. That formless chi straightaway aimed the leader's wrist, and the assault is so powerful that it penetrated his wrist and made a hole in it. The leader had no power left in him, that he loosened his grip on the sword's hilt. Now the protagonist is showing the leader what true power looks like. As the protagonist is heading towards the leader, the underlings are doing their best to shield the leader, but the Ice Master's glare is so intense that the underlings have no choice but to tremble in fear. Then the leader, seeing his underlings to guard him like this, is an unbearable sight to him, so he grabbed the shoulder of the long face and told him to move, as the leader is standing head-on against the Ice Master. The Ice Master couldn't control but begin to laugh at the stupidity. He is imagining that the leader is trying to act like a hero in the Ice Master's show, so by raising his sword finger, he is going to make the leader realize that he is just a side character in this story.